Well, good morning. Here it is. It's Wednesday morning, hump day, and it's middle of the week. And today is November the 22nd. And anyway, I hope that you had a good Tuesday. Hope that you were able to get some things done. And anyway, hope that God was able to help you get through whatever you were doing yesterday, and now here it is, Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. And of course, a lot of people will begin to have their Thanksgivings with family and friends. And anyway, I know we're having ours with our family this evening. And anyway, I hope you're doing well this morning. Hope that you're ready to tackle whatever opportunities God has got for us on this wonderful day. And this morning, I want to share with you a devotional entitled "Imitation and Infiltration." In 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 8, it says, "These teachers oppose the truth, just as Jannes and Jambres opposed Moses. They have depraved minds and a counterfeit faith." Now God, He directed 10 plagues against Egypt. And, each one of these plagues, they dealt with one of their deities. The Egyptians, they worshiped thousands of gods. They worshiped the Nile River as a god. They worship the sun, and they worship the animals. In fact, they worship just about anything, that we can imagine. I think, interestingly, the serpent, specifically the cobra, was an important symbol for the Egyptians. And what was the first miracle that God performed through Moses and Aaron? Well, Aaron, you remember, he threw down his staff, and then he turned it into a serpent, which probably was a cobra. Now, Pharaoh's magicians, they said they could duplicate that, and which they did. But Aaron's staff consumed the magician's staffs. From this first miracle, God was saying to Pharaoh, "Hey, I'm more powerful than you. My power is greater than your gods." And so, but still, Pharaoh, he didn't believe. His heart only became harder. Now, two of Satan's most effective strategies are imitation and infiltration. He'll try to stop a work altogether. But if that isn't successful, then he will imitate. In this way, he seeks to minimize the power and the glory of God, and then neutralize the impact of someone's life and testimony. Now, for example, Jesus, he told a story about a farmer who sowed a field of wheat, but in the darkness of night, his neighbor, he came and sowed seeds among the wheat. Now, this type of weed, also known as darnel, is almost identical to wheat in its initial stages of growth. Now, to the undiscerning eye, it's difficult to detect until later, when the weeds grow up and they, choke out the wheat. You see, the devil, he uses cheap imitations in the same way. How many times have people said, that the reason they aren't Christians is because there are so many hypocrites in the church. I mean, that puts followers of Jesus Christ in a very uncomfortable position, of trying to defend people who don't, live, what they say they believe. But you see, maybe they aren't believers at all. Maybe they're weeds among the wheat. See how effective, that ploy, do you see how effective that ploy can be? Someone who claims to be a follower of Jesus contradicts it by the way they live. Then a non-believer says that person is a hypocrite. Yet who's to say that individual is a hypocrite, or even a Christian? Maybe the devil is using such a person, for the very purpose of keeping non-believers from coming to faith. The Bible tells us that Pharaoh's magicians, known as Jannes and Jambres, which you mentioned there in that verse I read to begin with, were imitating what God was doing, thus making it, look as though, it wasn't genuine. And it was a very effective strategy. We have to be careful. We're living in critical times. While we read of many miracles, in the Bible, no one ever claimed to have, a miracle ministry. Believers in the early church, they answered God's call to preach the gospel to non-believers and to teach the truth of God's word. Miracles happened when and where God wanted them to happen. And so this reminds us, that signs and wonders should follow believers, but believers shouldn't follow signs and wonders. We need to be very guarded, in this day and age we're living in, because Satan's, trying to attack us in so many ways. But anyway, I hope that encourages you here on this Wednesday morning. And just remind you, tomorrow being Thanksgiving, I won't be on here, but hopefully I'll be back Friday morning. But anyway, do pray and hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Remember, Angie and I, we love you guys, and we're praying for you. And Lord willing, I'll see you on Friday morning. God bless you.